Okay, welcome everybody to episode 6 of the community meeting for Antioch Urban Growers. We are gathering to discuss the future of the Sustainable Growing Initiative and many other things. And we're starting out with some brags and accomplishments. And so I will get us started here and say that I got my first indoor sprout. That is yes, of the year. It has been weeks and I thought that nothing was gonna pop up, but I have one. Woo!
Yay!
And with that, I will pass it along to James.
Yep, hey, I don't really have a lot to brag about this week. I've just started looking at the WordPress site, getting to know the WordPress API for Antioch Urban Growers website. Hoping to grow that a bit myself into a little sprout. Yeah. Yep. Let's go, Carl.
Carl, you're still muted. Nope. Now you're gone. And before that, you were sideways. I'm going to choose Jess for Carl. Oh, wait.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Yay!
I finished my Scrooge nightcap, sort of. There's still some work left to do, but it's about 3 feet long. But there's a Scrooge nightcap in black and gold.
Beautiful.
That's awesome. Well done, Carl.
Yes, appropriate colors for the area that you're in too.
Yeah. Officially, we got 9.9 inches of snow, but I recorded 13 on my balcony.
Wow.
And I got out for the first time today. I'm in Columbia, Missouri, for Bill's edification. And I recently transplanted from Kansas City, where I met up with Liz and then Mark and Maggie in short order after that, back in, was it September, I think, of last year. Spent a few nights after karaoke's in the greenhouse overnight. Helped out, got kind of acclimated to their society. Cap's coming off. But my background is architecture, and I'm hoping to add that capability, that skill set to Antioch Urban Growers in the future. Unbeknownst to my transplant to Columbia, but as I'm retired officially about a year now, it really doesn't matter where I'm at, and Zoom and the internet just makes it that much easier. So at some point I'll get back physically. I've already made that promise, but my transportation at this point is by bicycle, and I was out today. I've discovered a Hy-Vee store that's near me, about 5 miles. And I really like it. So, but I'm really looking forward to starting to grow my own stuff to supplement and cut costs. And I bake my own bread, make my own cookies, and Mark and Maggie have already experienced that part of me as well. Thanksgiving feast. So love you guys, and I'm trucking. Got my work table set up for models and such this week, so making progress.
Cool beans.
Awesome. Well done, Carl. Who would you like to go next in accomplishments and brags?
I don't know anybody else. Bill, you can go next.
Oh, there you go, Bill. Accomplishments and brags for the week.
I'm here.
Yay!
So that's something to brag about. It's just been a a whirlwind of a week. Had somebody who was dealing something with another accountant, and instead of having their breakdown be my breakdown, I just in an hour took care of what needed to be taken care of and said, this is the path you're going on, and this is what I'll do. Talk to you later, and came over here.
That is a good job.
Awesome.
Yep. And then did Jess go?
Not yet.
Not yet.
All right, you're up, Jess.
Guys, I've had a pretty quiet week. I've just been doing good self-care stuff. So I've been studying like mad on anatomy and physiology and made some really, really good food and just got back from dance class, which was intense and amazing and awesome. So I'm just kind of feeling good. And
Yeah.
who else? Abby, you're up.
Okay, what I did, I got my storm windows up. So that was good.
Nice.
Smush my finger. I am in the process of learning QuickBooks.
Yay.
That's really, really fun. And I have decided to go back to school.
Yay.
Oh, exciting.
So we're continuing that. So those are my goals and
Good
accomplishments
job, Abby.
and brags.
Awesome.
So let's
Excellent,
see.
Abby.
So proud of you.
Who else is on here that hasn't talked besides Maggie?
I
I
think
think
that's
Dan's
it.
left.
Mac and
Oh,
Dan.
Dan.
Dan, let's do Dan.
Dan.
Accomplishments and brags, Dan.
I still wouldn't count days no more, but I was 95 days clean. I talked to Maggie today. I still got to talk to Mark and Maggie about a resident agreement. We talked to a lot of the particulars today of what are both goals and, you know, and our vision for the future. And we had a good meeting. It was very positive. I went to 4 hours today, 4.5 hours. Feel good about that. It's been a good day. It's been a good day. I had a good last week. See, we got quite a few things done, but we plowed a lot when it snowed. Me and Mac got out there and shoveled it by hand.
Yay. It didn't turn into an ice rink. Yay.
And it was a lot of work. We were both pretty tired, pretty sore, but we got her done, and we worked on it all day, so we got her done. And you guys were happy, so that made us happy. And we had a good game night the other night. I got to attend game night at Mark and Maggie's, and I really enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun. I want to play that game again.
Dan.
And yeah, we're gonna play a game. It's kind of like what we're doing here. It's a lot like what we're doing here. Isn't it? We're bartering for whatever we need. You know, we trade what we have for what we need. And it's a lot about, you know, what the community is about and everything. It's really, really pretty cool game. But I had a really good time doing that. I'm working on getting my ID this week. I did go to the ID place and find out exactly what I needed. And so I did get that accomplished. I got to make a couple phone calls tomorrow. I got to put a couple things on my phone here on my calendar. Put them reminders. I got to call on my food stamp card. I'm going to ask first if it's there. And if not, I got to do accomplishments. Yeah. So I need, things I need. Yeah, I need. But yeah, I'm good. Thank you guys.
Yay. Well done, Dan.
Add to that, he also assisted in, we have a trailer full of scrap metal ready to go to the yard first thing in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Already
Nice.
pulled out and processed and ready for a second load when we get back to load up. And the greenhouse is ready for the interns to start planting first thing in the morning when they get here.
Wow, nice.
Nice.
Good job.
Well done.
Anyone else? Maggie.
I gotta go. Huge brags on James and Marcus, who's not here, for getting the website back up. We've got a shell of it. We got kind of like a template out there, but we've done some rebranding to the template, so it has our logos on it and whatnot, and it's better than you know, we weren't able to really do anything to it before, but now we can actually slick. I have got lesson number 1 in how to do WordPress web design. Web design is still my least favorite thing in technology, honestly. And that's all right. So let's see, accomplishments and brags. It's been an incredible week, full of incredible conversations. Just the community's really coming together, all the different communities, for just the sake of, because they like each other and they want to play games with each other, and it's causing just the coolest shit to happen in the world. Like, I just can't get over it. Like the conversation we had this morning with Marty and Stan, and we're proposing now, we might go try to find a grant so we can propose to the Parks and Rec that we turn Swope Park into an intense rotational grazing with goats and turn it into a goat dairy right there with the mounted patrol stable that's in the middle of flipping Swope Park already. Anyway, so that was a conversation that happened this morning. That was my brilliant idea. I had to brag on it just a little bit more. Thank you for listening.
3600 Troost.
3600 Troost. The project on the building at 3600 Troost is progressing. We just got off of a phone call with the CEO of Ruby Jean's Juicery. Chris Good was on there along with Hunter and Eli. And Chris is going to be coming to the greenhouse this Wednesday, hopefully to overlap with the CSA coming. And he really wants, I really think, for getting some sort of conversation between Martha or Aaron Eugene or whoever the heck shows up for delivery day, plus Mark, plus Chris Good with Ruby Jeans, is just going to cause magic. I don't know what that's going to cause, but it's going to cause magic because he's up to the same shit we are, which is getting people to eat more nutritious food, but in a different way. So that's really cool. Hang on, Mac, I see you. And what else happened this week? Game night with Catan. We had a really fabulous game night here and lots of fun, lots of growth and development too, because anytime you get together and with this mass of people, there's going to be socially awkward moments to be nurtured from. And what else? If I'm missing something that somebody did that I was like in the moment just so overjoyed about, I apologize if I've forgotten it completely now. So I just want to put that out there. And Mac, what's your question? Or what do you have where your comment is? And then we'll get to Bill the Wonder CPA for as long as he can handle us.
Well, actually, I had one brag, which is on you for all your hard work in creating the residency, both agreements and leases and what those should look like. That is a huge amount of work, and you've put so much effort in. Thank you so very much. So that I would like to brag on you about. But also that you were talking about the gentleman's coming on Wednesday. Mark, does that overlap our processing?
All the duck process.
We haven't set that in concrete yet, but even if it does, I mean,
that'd be awesome.
I think the more the more people that are there in the whole concepts of fresh food and processing your own food, and people who serve nothing but nutrition drinks like at a juicery. I mean, bringing all these people together to see what food is really doing and what food really is and how much goes into getting real food. I think let them overlap. Just let them keep overlapping as many things as we can tie together.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you for bringing that to my understanding as well, Matt.
Yeah, no worries.
Jess, real quick, what you got?
You might check in with the people who are coming for the duck processing, because a lot of people don't like involuntarily being exposed to animal death and blood.
Oh, good idea.
And as much as I'm a fan of educating and informing, I think it's wise to have consent for that.
Yeah, all of these people will be, I have interns working that are, I already told them that part of what they're gonna be learning is how to process their own foods. So they're on, and then actually the person that's gonna be giving the class is a duck geneticist, and she may be bringing a couple of her interns as well. And then this one gentleman, yeah, he's a city dweller. He doesn't know anything about food, so it might be a little freaky to him, but he'll just have to get over it. That's all I got to say.
In his Mercedes SUV.
Yeah, whatever it is, I understand. I completely agree. But what we're really trying to do is kind of press the envelope here, because even what we're doing could be considered illegal in the city of Kansas City. However, Corinna, who's did all the research, says that there's a legal way to do this. There's a number that you can do through the USDA for up to 1,000 birds we could do. So we're good. But yeah, I hear you. It's one of those little areas where people don't get squeamish or whatever that word is. However, this is the world we live in. So it's just time to get with it. Or get in the game or get out.
There you go.
Thank you. All right, Bill the Wonder CPA.
Yeah.
Take it away, everybody.
Well, you know what you said, Mark, was perfect about pushing the envelope. The thing is that when it comes to things with the government, pushing the envelope is way different than ripping it apart. The one thing that I tell everybody, and this is a guarantee I will give you, okay? The IRS will never, ever send you a letter saying, you forgot to take that deduction. They don't send that letter. Now, if you short them $1 in income, they might send you a letter for that. So, in talking with Maggie, and you guys, if you have a question, raise your hand, whatever. It's like, well, we can should make it interactive. The bottom line is, with pretty much what you're looking at, if you operate as an employee, and it doesn't matter where you're an employee, most of the expenses that you have as an employee are personal items, and you can't get a tax deduction. But if you turn that, so now you're a business owner. As a business owner, that same cell phone just became a business deduction. That same car mileage just became a business deduction. So all those things that you can't write off as a W-2 employee, you can write off as a business owner. So that's one of the advantages to being a business owner. Plus, as you're making the money that we talked about earlier, Mark, once you start making hundreds of thousands, there's ways you can shelter it as a business owner. Yeah, I can't as an employee. I have clients putting away $200,000 to $300,000 a year for retirement and not paying taxes on it right now. And there's no employee out there who can do that. Only business owners can do that. And then, some of the things you're talking about grants. There's all sorts of different things that can come up inside of this that you can start to structure things and look at what's going to be the best way to operate, what's going to be the best way so that you're spending your money for your purposes. Because I guarantee you, $1 given to any one of you is going to be put to better use than $1 sent to Washington. Because most of them couldn't find their butt with both hands up there. And they certainly don't do anything sustainable. Because they change their mind more often than they change their underwear. So, questions?
So what's the difference? How do I set up a business versus just being an independent contractor? So
Being an independent contractor is a business. And there's nothing special you need to set up a business. If you have somebody give you a 1099, as soon as you file your return showing that 1099 on it, you got your business. The setup of a business is if you want to What city you live in?
Kansas City,
Kansas City proper?
Missouri. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I live outside of the city proper, but that's a whole different thing. We're not going to talk about the 1%
Isn't that an
earnings
interesting
tax.
play on words?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it depends on what you're doing. And in most cases, there's nothing special you need to do. If you're doing something where you're selling retail, are some instances where you need to actually go to the state or go to the city and get city licenses and all that kind of stuff. 9 times out of 10, that's not a major issue. You just file your return. You put something called the Schedule C on there. And as long as you're making a profit of less than 25, 50 grand, that's probably the easy way to do it.
I sure am making less.
Okay, well, then that's a different conversation we'll have, James. So let's get your butt over the 25, 50 grand hump. So now you go create a corporation. That's a whole different conversation when you're making money. Then there's ways we put it into a different structure that actually does pay you a W-2, but you're your own employee, so who gives a shit, right? It's different when you got control of the pocketbook versus somebody else giving it to you. There's all sorts of things you can do there, but the main thing is if you're making less than 20 to 50,000, you just file it with your return. There's nothing special you need to do unless you're in some unique situation where, I don't know, you got to register with the FDA to come up with an example. Next question.
Yes, sir, Matt?
So I got one for you. I don't deal in money.
Good for you.
So in doing so, there's a lot of things that I don't do, but I don't want to be a threat to the community in the fact that I don't take anything from the government, so I don't give the government anything at all.
Well, as long as you don't have any kind of business that needs to be registered, I would do exactly what you're doing. Okay. The reality, according to the law, quote unquote, you taking something of value puts you in a situation where they want you to keep track of your bartering. Okay. They have no freaking way outside of a few barter clubs that are out there to know what the hell is going on. And then the IRS is so clueless, they probably wouldn't know what the hell to do with a barter club anyway, to be straight with you, right? So you're not threatening anybody by bartering, okay? And it's something that if you can stay off the grid and do that and do some things for cash money, more power to you, go do it. Stay off the grid. The biggest thing that you're going to run into an issue, anybody who's doing either cash business or bartering, is be damn careful with bank accounts. That's where the IRS finds you.
How so?
That's the only access they have, is if they see you have a bank account, if you have any money in it, if you ever do a transaction that's more than a certain amount. It used to be $10,000. You've heard all the crap coming down, or you may or may not have heard. They were talking about changing it to the IRS, looking at any transaction over $600, which would include just about everybody's rent payment type thing. You know what I mean? So that hasn't passed, okay? But the more they do stuff so they get into your business, that's going to be a problem. And when they do that, we'll talk. Until then, I say stay off the grid, more power to you.
Okay. I wanted to make sure that because I live that way and I am a resident and I guess 1099 occupant here at the farm, that I was not jeopardizing the farm in any way doing that.
Well, you won't jeopardize the farm unless the farm gives you cash that we need to put on a 1099. And there are other ways of skinning a cat. So we'll talk about that later, Mark and Maggie.
Got it.
You know, it could be simple things that we don't pay you, but we pay for a cell phone for you. I'm just pulling stuff out of an orifice right now, right?
Right.
There's ways that you can creatively barter so they have an expense and you don't have income. That's not a bad deal.
Okay. Okay. That was my only concern. Thank you, sir.
Well, I got your back. Next. You hear the Jeopardy music in the background?
How about grants? We mentioned grants, you mentioned grants. How does that fall? How does that fall in our taxes? Where do we put that income?
It depends.
I'm sorry?
It depends.
Okay.
And right now, it's probably going to show up as other income. It's not going to be something that's going to be subject to self-employment tax. It's something we'll have ongoing conversations about. And this is where we start to look at maybe what we're going to do is be a little more creative. Okay. Because as you start having much in the way of grants, where you may want to look at the going to be cooperative, for example. So now you just turn your business into a nonprofit. And then when you have a grant, yes, it's income, but who cares? You're a nonprofit, you don't pay taxes. I think those are things we look at for the future, Mark. And it's something that as grants start coming in and we start growing it, I think that by this fall, we should have a different conversation. And if you get much in the way of grants coming in, it'll be a faster conversation.
We've got 4 grant applications in process out for consideration and in process right
And
now.
for how much? For how
Each
much
one of
money?
them will be under $10,000.
Yeah, that's a conversation we're going to have sooner than.
And then the big one that's being prepared this spring with the partnership with the universities, our cut of that one's going to be more like I'm asking for 175,000.
Yeah.
In that grant.
The bigger issue that you would have with grants than how it's going to impact your income, because it's basically grant money and it's not quote unquote income. Somebody's compensating you for that. You would probably have to pay yourself some kind of wage after that out of it. So you would have a W-2 wage, right? The bigger issue is going to be their requirements, okay? So the grant people can say, well, you got to do this, this, and this, and I want to see proof of it. That's going to be the thing. It's like, what are their requirements, their things that we have to follow? And I think that's my bigger concern. It's making sure we have the I's dotted and T crossed, because you never want to piss off your grant provider because they're giving you money.
So there's.
And if we can find other options, we'll do it. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, so the accountant and the bookkeeper would have to be working in cahoots kind of with.
Oh, totally.
With the documentation, mainly for just making the grantees or the grantors happy.
That's right. Yeah, we totally have the book set up in a way that makes the grantors happy. Because just about most grants are going to require some kind of financial reporting. Good question. Anybody else? Is the chat open, Maggie?
The chat is open, yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to put my email in here.
And I would like to ask a question in regards to well, Abby, I'm going to share about your circumstance, if that's all right. Is that all right with you? Or would you like to share about it?
With
Nah.
circumstance, but okay.
The desire to make your own income and get off of Social Security.
Yeah, you
disability.
can share it.
Like there's a certain, when you're on Social Security disability, there's only so much money you can make before they take away your benefits.
Yeah.
But if one was wanting to empower oneself to get off of Social Security disability in a way of like being a sole proprietor of some sort, like
Well, I wouldn't do that if it were me, but go ahead.
well, that's what I wanted to have a conversation for. I asked the question about in that circumstance, what would be.
In that unique circumstance, what I would look at is making sure you have the structures in place. And what I would probably do, that's going to be gross income. I'm thinking, my wheels are spinning right now.
Good. I love it. I
Okay.
can see the smoke coming out.
Yeah, won't matter. Well, number one, if you become the sole proprietor thing, the main thing is going to be making sure you maximize what your expenses are, number one, right? Because you want to write off everything you can. So, because the government doesn't care of the gross. If you can go bring in 25 grand, right? But if you show that you got 20,000 of expenses, you've made 5, you're under the threshold, we're happy. Okay. So I think the thing is, as you grow a business, that's what helps, is because you're going to write off everything you can, keep under the threshold as long while you're using it to help you build the business. Okay. So that's really the pathway to go, so that you can make sure that you're bringing in the income. And then as you break through that, you start, and I don't remember the threshold off the top of my head of how much you can make. I think it varies a little bit from disability to retirement. Not a lot, a little bit, because there's not much you can make at certain ages. So that's what I would do, is like I talked about with James, you can just set you up like a sole proprietorship. So you're just making the income there. And again, have as much as you can, find as many expenses as you can, so you don't have to worry about paying taxes on it.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
One of the things in the grant has to do with intellectual property as well.
Yes.
That's one of the things that they're soaking us for as urban farmers in the midst of different cultures. We work with the University of Missouri, and like for getting surveys, having classes, bringing in certain cultures to get their reactions and their desires for what kind of future Kansas City is going to have. So we've been already getting money for that, like $5 for a survey that someone pays. Somebody does a survey while they're at our place, we get $5 for that survey or whatever. But even in the grant, we've been in meetings like once a month, at least for over 2 years, contributing to this package that's going to be presented to the National Science Foundation for planning Kansas City's green infrastructure and food security plan for the next 30 years.
Wow.
So what about all that time and all that meetings that we've already been in? We've got no money out from that, really. It's just been taking up our time, our space, collecting our intellectual property. So when these grants start coming, can we backlog these hours spent in meetings and whatnot?
Track your time.
It's pretty much a scheduled event. Yeah, we do it it's a scheduled event. So we
It's
can
on my
look at-
calendar.
and it is mainly Zoom, so there's not transportation, but.
Well, you got time.
I'm sorry?
You got time.
You got time for sure.
I don't know off the top of my head. I'm not willing to sit here and say, no, you can't. Mainly because I don't like that answer. Okay. So I think what there is that's something we need to investigate because you do have time and energy expended. So I'd have to figure out how I could do it because you didn't get paid for it. Okay. So since you didn't get paid for it, now I'm going to get real creative and say Antioch Urban Growers owes you money.
Mhm.
So we need to figure that one out. And I don't have an answer off the top of my head, but I'm also not willing to say, no, you can't. That's a great idea. And since you have the calendars, that's something that we'll have to look at how we can do that.
Mhm. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's not busting the envelope. That's just pushing a little bit.
And I wanna welcome Paula. I apologize. We did not pause and welcome when Paula joined. Paula, are you able to unmute yourself today? Is that working today? Paula has yet to be able to unmute herself and speak into the Zoom call yet. So I just sent you a prompt, hopefully on your screen to unmute.
So what you're doing, Mark, are you going to start like where you're at? And I know that you're already in Columbia, great town, used to live there. It's something that, are you going to like start it as like, this is the mothership and have little ships around the country?
A little bit, kind of, sort of. The initiative is really moving towards more local, less expansive, you know, as far as corporate type structure. However, a template model would be great to present as a duplicatable, even scalable operation that we can propose to the other metropolitan areas that are also facing climate change challenges and food insecurity challenges in the inner city. So really everything we're doing is really bringing together a template model that could be used all over the country and if all over the world, really, because this National Science Foundation grant is for outside the box approaches to climate change, food insecurity, and all these things that we lump together as far as what we're up to in the world.
Would be unimaginable that people actually got to eat real food. You don't see much of that at the grocery store these days.
And we're doing that with real soil. That's our turnkey. It's already there, but now we need to amend it, really, and regenerate it and actually cause it to be alive again. And then really our work is preparing the soil and then using it wisely to increase its fertility, its vibrancy, and everything necessary to create healthier lives and greater imagination and greater ingenuity and greater outside the box thinking. So we literally we're heading at the reason why we are even considering needing security in our food production. And water too. I just put in for a grant to create a water catchment system that will also be able to be turned into drinkable water for humans. We have a research program I proposed that would house 5 farmhands who are growing their own food and collecting their own nutrition and water all off their own farm. And it's really for intellectual property, proof of concept, research and development on how to do this for every 10 or 15 mile circle where there's food being produced right in the middle of it in a way that brings community together, and they leave with food and they leave with seed and they leave with the secret to soil, and then they do it and save the planet one backyard at a time.
That's what it's going to take. Yep. Awesome. Any other questions for me? You guys got my contact. You can send me an email. That cell phone, you can send just make sure you put that we've met on here. So I'll respond to you. Be happy to entertain your questions. Maggie, thanks for inviting me.
Thank you for agreeing to be here at the community meeting with us and answer all these questions. Appreciate it.
You
Mac,
got
what
it.
you got to say?
Mac.
I got one more quick question for you, man. So here on the farm, we don't just, provide a product and sell the product. We do a lot of other things, and there are a lot of other concepts that are possible on the farm. How do we build those out? Like when we do events, or somebody comes and rents a campfire for a couple of hours, or somebody wants to do a wedding, and how do we build those out?
What do you mean how you bill them out?
I'm as a 1099 myself. I'm the one providing the everything for the event, but it's on the farm. So is it billed as an Antioch Urban Growers bill, or do I bill it?
Well, the problem is you bill it. You just showed up on the grid.
Right.
So you just answered your question. They bill it. So you have them be the flagship that bills for the event. And then you figure out how it's going to work best for you to get compensated for that so that you stay off the grid.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it's not impossible. And you just have to be disciplined if you want to stay off the grid. That's really what it comes down to, is discipline. All right, Maggie and everybody, it was nice meeting you. Have a great rest of your meeting. I'll bid you adieu. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thank
doing
you.
what you guys are doing, because I was telling one of my business associations about some of the things you're doing. It's like, damn, can't they move something a little closer to us?
Did you get a hold of Jen?
No, I put it on my list though.
Okay, good.
Jed and Anna Maria are the two
Oh.
that come to mind.
Anna Maria Leon, she'd be great. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. She's more
All
flower
right.
native plants, but yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All
Bye,
right,
Bill.
thank you. Bye.
Wasn't that fun? All right, where are we? Budget. Actually, first let's do committee updates, and then I want to show you all how we did last year according to the like last year we did things the traditional way we've always done things, which is running the retail operation at Antioch Urban Growers as the business, right? And we had partnerships with various people in the community for various different terms and whatnot. And so I had a budget that we had created, like the dream budget, that I kind of reined in a little bit, but I didn't rein it in too much, as the season went this way the season went. So I'd love to show you all that information just so you have real data to be able to it'll provide something. I don't know what it will provide. It'll provide something for our future conversations for sure. So
Put it on the screen.
yeah, I'm going to put it on the screen.
Cool.
But we're going to do committee updates first, and then we'll get to the budget after that. I just don't want to get too far, or I don't want to leave that off. So committee updates. You want to start with infrastructure and maintenance? I know you guys have some cool updates.
You want to take it, Mac? I think you got the thing on your phone, don't you? The calendar of events this week.
I do, but I'm actually using my phone for the Zoom. So if I do that, I might go off camera. But I can pull it up.
Yay.
So let's see, on the calendar for this week, tomorrow we have planting and actually high tunnel maintenance on the top there. We were able to get most of that honeysuckle vine down and pulled out of there. So we have to put cucumbers and things, binding things in pots. We're going to plant any empty rows with what's in the bed or in the starter tables. Wednesday, we have the duck processing visitor coming. I didn't get that put in calendar. Do you have that in yours of when they're supposed to be there?
For what?
1 o'clock-ish.
Okay. So yeah, that's right at starting duck processing time. So yeah,
You were cut out for a minute there, Mac. What did you ask? I thought that's what you're asking. Say
yeah,
again.
on Wednesday, I have that at 1 o'clock on Wednesday is when we're supposed to start processing.
Okay, cool.
So you said we had that visitor coming along with
Okay, got it.
Fruitful Hills.
Yeah, that's all happening all at once. That's probably not the. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think maybe we should move the duck processing a day.
Yeah, we could possibly do it tomorrow. I think it's only going to be 10 drakes, so it's going to be a quick. And the person that's going to give the class is bringing a plucker, a waxer, and a one other thing. I can't forget it.
But is it in Corinna's schedule to be able to do it tomorrow?
You know what? I'm gonna have to verify that, but she said whenever I made it, she was gonna be there because she's really excited about it. So, but let me verify that before we can do it.
So if we have to switch things around, I would suggest we switch it with Thursday, which is the high tunnel clean out and maintenance, because we can do that while having the visitors and be able to stop for when Fruitful Hills gets here on Wednesday. And it gives Corinna a little more time for heads up.
This one.
No, not this one. Right? No, wait.
Wait a minute. I don't know. I don't think we have Fruitful Hills that day. Do we have?
On Wednesday?
I'm a week off with when Chris Good's gonna be coming. That'll be next Wednesday. I apologize.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then that changes everything. Then we can leave things as they are, and it doesn't matter when that guy gets here.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
CSA is also next Wednesday as well. My apology.
Yeah, we don't even have CSA this week. So this Wednesday we'll shoot for the duck processing, and then next Wednesday we will have the visitor and the Fruitful Hills. I want all the different cultures to meet. Kind of. This guy's an inner city guy.
Okay, so you're going to reschedule him till the 16th then?
No, that's already when it's scheduled at. I was mistaken.
Yeah.
Both of those things are next
now
week.
I'm tracking with you. I'm tracking with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so then moving on. Wednesday's duck processing, and that's it. And then we have the interns with continuing planting on whatever we didn't get planted on Tuesday. Thursday is the cleaning and making a list of maintenance materials that we need to complete both high tunnels to have them up and running by spring. Friday, and Friday is a TBD. So it's if anybody has anything, I guess, Mark, if you don't mind if we offer up the hands here on the farm, if anybody has anything on Friday that they need done, we can figure that out.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sure Kathy's got ideas.
Yeah, that's it for us here on the farm.
Infrastructure, any other infrastructure and maintenance-y?
What about Liz? What do you got going on as far as infrastructure on your farm? And Maggie, what do you need done on your farm?
I do have a long list, enough to have like several classes on building and maintenance. So I could go grab that, but the two biggest ones I need to put in my water catchment and an irrigation sort of system. Oh, speaking of, if anybody has any like junk hoses that are like, not really functional as they are, I will take them because I have a an idea for using them for my irrigation. And then also my fence. I really need to get my fence up, which requires acquiring many countless, probably 50 plus pallets. And then I want to put those together and up as a fence. So those are my biggest ones. And then, you know, many more to come after that, including like building my geodesic dome, maybe possibly a tree house, you know, it runs the gamut. So that's what I've got going on at my place for infrastructure and maintenance. Yeah.
Liz,
And also, okay, sorry, what?
I got about 20 to 25 pallets stacked up, covered up over at the house. All we got to do is relocate them.
Okay, sweet. I would prefer them be the 40 by 48 dimensions, which is like typically the standard dimension. I know that they come in all different shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
But yeah, 40 by 48 is the ideal size for me.
Yeah, the ones I got are 48 by 34. So
Okay. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to show you what I'm thinking of for this fence, and maybe that can still work. What else was I gonna say? Yeah. Well, okay, and then I've been doing, so this is like an out there sort of like maybe far off thing, to just like throwing this out there to get the conversation started. I've been doing research on tool libraries. There's several of them around the country, and doing successful. Some of them have been up and running for 30 plus years. And it's basically like a library where you can go in, and instead of checking out a book, you check out a tool. Some of them have free memberships. Some of them are like sliding scale memberships for communities. A lot of them were funded through grants, and then some other non-traditional methods as well. So yeah, just it's a fun idea. I think it'd be really great if we could do that, because I mean, I have tools. I'm sure, you know, Mark and you guys all have tools, and if we could like set up some formal system of sharing those, if not like with the larger community, at least within the community, would be a fun idea.
So,
Yes.
Maggie created a thread on Discord that's called Buy Nothing. And it's a place where we can post resource wants or surpluses. So if you post up a list of all the things you're looking for, and then we kind of all have an idea so we can keep an eye out. And then if we have extra stuff, like right now my car is full of plastic hangers. If anybody needs 1 million plastic hangers, I have like over 100 of them. But like stuff like that, like anything that we have that's an abundance that we can share with other people. Like right now, my work gets styrofoam coolers and ice packs all the time. Like we literally throw them in the dumpster multiple times a week.
I found a place that'll take the styrofoam coolers.
Yay!
Nas.
So if that's a thing that people can use and utilize, I'm happy to save them and bring them up kind of whenever I come up, like once a month or so. But that kind of like redistribution of excess stuff.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay, cool. Thanks for bringing that up again. Yeah, I do need to get on there and like just list out all the things that I'm on the search for and looking out for. So yeah, I'll do that. Thank you. Okay, Maggie, did you have stuff, infrastructure and maintenance things on your property?
Well, there's still the desire to put up a fence. We've got that patch of pasture we're solarizing. It'll be Mark's garden in the fall or the spring, and we need to do something fencing wise. And you said you have a cattle panel somewhere. I have not done the math to figure out how many distance of feet I'm going to need, like distance in feet of material. I don't know. There's holes in the root. I don't know what to ask for. There's so many things, you know. But yeah, I like whatever I have all sorts, I have an endless list of house repairs that need to be done, but I have I already have a water catchment system. I would love to make it a little more automated, but I'm really satisfied with my water catchment system and my gardens. And the only real need, like from the sustainability perspective, I would love to get a gray water containment and purification system, but I would love to develop one of those. And we've been talking with Ben about that a little bit, but develop a way to capture gray water here and not have it go anywhere, have it be turned into potable water again. So those are some of my infrastructure and maintenance things. There's drywall, there's holes in the roof, there's holes in the ceiling, there's raccoons. There's electrical work that needs done, light fixtures that don't work and stuff like that. But one of my dreams has been to make this a space where people could come and almost like Airbnb sanctuary. This is like a retreat space. But none of my extra spaces right now are finished to the point where I would be really comfortable with having a guest, that maybe wasn't family or, one of y'all, what I'm saying? I'm not like I don't want to have high standards, for how I treat y'all too, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Like walls that are half painted, that kind of thing. So those are some of the things on my wish list, is having my whole place be beautiful, be a true sustainable urban farm that people come and visit to have the experience of and take that back with them somewhere. And I want it to be beautiful. But I don't know how to do those things. I know how to do technology things. That's what I know how to do. Okay, that's infrastructure and maintenance committee stuff. Next is marketing and events and technology. So now I'm thinking here. Technology, website. Yay, James, website. Thank you.
Started, but far from being done.
Yeah.
But
And I invite everybody to go out, take a look at it, contribute your thoughts and ideas. I don't even know what's possible.
Yeah.
James and I have been thinking about blogs and stuff like that. What else, James?
Oh, I mean, I'm here to make what you think is good. So what, I've had some little design ideas to make it prettier, but as far as functionality and content goes, I think that we can workshop some stuff on the Discord once I'm in a place to maybe, have some maybe private pages where you guys can take a look, maybe vote on what you think is good. The website's going to be kind of it's more like a sign, right? But really what we want to do, I think, is probably use it to funnel folks into the community. So, link to the Discord, links to the podcast. If we're going to be selling digital goods, what do those look like? Are they lessons? Do we have a TikTok? What does it look like? What's an instructional thing that we can use to educate and grow the community? Not for even merchandise or anything like that, but more for getting people tuned in, so what's a way that we can use the site to do that? A blog is good. I think it's a good first start for getting ideas out there, and just kind of, not long posts, really just more like a couple paragraphs on what happened. Link to here for more details, right? Join the Discord, come on in. We also need to figure out, I think, how to manage new folks coming into the Discord, so that we don't get inundated by bots, which is a real thing we have to be concerned about in the 21st century.
Nuts? You say nuts?
Robots. Robots.
Oh, robot. That's it's nuts. I was thinking of nutty people. I know so many of them already. I don't.
Yeah, we
more
got
the
that covered.
merrier.
People who want nuts. Plenty of nuts are delicious.
But robots. Okay, I'm sorry. I hear you now.
Yeah. I've seen some discords that have like a little save kind of thing where you have to do something to get fully in, and that's just kind of so that they don't get spam, which is a very processed food as well, spam. But anyway,
I love your sense of humor, James. I really do. You just took me a minute. It just took me a minute.
the normal. But yeah, I mean, so that's still sort of the idea space, you know, making it real is still a little bit off. I've got kind of a way that I've found to make the front end of the site more custom and still use WordPress for the back end. So it's easy to write a post. It's easy to manage content for folks who want to do that. They can go to WordPress and type stuff in, and it'll look nice on the front, and it'll be using a different front end than WordPress provides, but it's more under our control, more handcrafted, so that's not bad. But it's still an idea that I'm learning on that end of things, so bear with me. But if we want to make some content, some inroads as far as that goes now, drop an idea in the technology channel on the Discord, and you know, we can get some ideas going.
You're
Well,
amazing.
I've got some ideas. I mean, this is my coming into the spring plant season. I always start like I started today making my first post, just getting people pictures of little sprouts coming up and whatnot. And for some reason, I was using the business manager for the Facebook thing. Is that right, Maggie?
Yep.
Okay, I was using the Facebook business manager. And it will only take up a 1 minute bit or sound bite or whatever. It just takes up 1 minute and then it cuts off. And then today I couldn't even get it to work at all. It rang at 82% ready to send, and then it just stopped. And then later on it said won't send. But is it possible for us to do this same kind of marketing of just our people? Because we've got a pretty good number of people who like us and follow us and whatnot. Lots of email addresses and whatnot. And put together something that we can know who we're communicating to for sure, at least in this one medium of the website. Is that right? I mean, I'm really clueless.
You can definitely make a post on the site, like a blog post with the media that you want in it, be it sound, be it images and text, and then share that on the page, on the Facebook page. And so the only people who really have it are the folks that you're sharing it with. And you can also, you know, post it on the Discord and come to the Discord link on the Facebook page as well. So you can make the content on your site and share it on Facebook, right?
Okay.
You're less constrained by what's on Facebook, but you can still share it with those that you want to share it with.
Cool. And as far as a blog, and now my understanding of a blog is it's this kind of like personality that people go to for the experience of being with that person and what that person shares, and then they just get attached to that person. We've got some incredible people that I believe would just like Jess being one of them, Liz being one of them for sure. I even got a few tricks up my sleeve to keep people interested and whatnot. What's going on at the farm every day is interesting. Every day we do something that I know people would want to watch and see.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we can have multiple communications into this place where people go, and just like they pick out a movie for the evening, they pick out one of the speakers or one of the people that are contributing to AUG's website.
Yeah,
And that'd
yeah.
be like the place where everybody comes, and then they share it with people and say, go to AUG and look up James Slaughter. He's the guy is a monster.
for the things that are like more day to day and like very quick, a short like 12-second video and stuff like that, things like TikTok and Twitter are still great options for that as well. You can get people that you never thought would be interested on TikTok, right? So, if you're just, I honestly think that if you just show the water catching system at AUG, just a few short videos on TikTok, you get people interested in that.
Okay, we got lots of stuff. How about this duck processing thing this week? Videos of ducks' heads being removed and feathers flying. It's real life, right?
It is. I think that for that, you might run into some content moderation issues on sites that are yours. So, you might do a little bit more editing on those, maybe blur parts of it out, stuff like that, so that you don't get like an account ban or something like that, which can really sink you or get you demonetized or deprioritized in the algorithms. Gore in particular can be pretty sensitive for folks, even if it's real. A lot of people don't like to live in reality. And those platforms will take you off, sometimes without even notifying you. They'll just kind of silence you so that you don't reach anybody. So, I would still post like high level steps, like if you're interested in knowing where your food comes from, or if you want to make your own, but I would also emphasize that, that it's more humane than what goes on behind the scenes. And that knowing where your food is from is what's important, right?
So pushing the envelope is not beyond us.
Right. It takes some care, but and kind of like what he said earlier, discipline, right? Knowing where the boundaries really are. And still, you can come up close to them, but even close to them, people might still report you. Especially when it comes to animal rights stuff. Like when I worked with research organizations in the past, people on like the animal ethics councils and stuff kept a lot of that information very secret because they become targets for activists for that kind of thing. And, that can also happen if you're showing ethical meat consumption or preparation.
Yes, the animal welfare stuff is huge. And if you become the target of a group with like 20,000 members that are all spamming you and trying to get you shut down and bombing your business with 1 million phone calls and emails and reports on, and they'll go through and report every single thing you post, whether it has any content they dislike or not, because they're on a campaign now and you're the enemy.
Yeah.
And you definitely don't want to get that kind of attention.
But if we do this all on our own website.
Yeah, I still wouldn't show any death or blood.
Yeah.
If you're showing the processing part, I would have the animals already dead before they appear on camera. And I would definitely have like a content warning splash screen before people like don't click on this unless you're okay with seeing this. Because you absolutely will get the wrong kind of attention, and because they're on an emotional crusade at that point, they don't stop and they're not rational.
Right.
Thank you for that input. Makes sense.
Yeah. It's not easy. Welcome to life on the internet.
A sea of public opinion and morality is a bunch of bullshit.
I do believe we can do it in a way. I can handle those kind of things myself. I was a preacher and stood in front of dead bodies and made people laugh by the time they got out of the funeral. It was just kind of one of my gifts, It was like, hey, this is what's going on.
They're going to be these people aren't even going to watch the content. They'll just go, they're not going to actually engage with it at all. They'll be told to go there by somebody else and just report it, and get you kicked off of whatever platform you're sharing it on, even if it's hosted on your website.
Really?
you'll get kicked off of Twitter and Facebook and TikTok. I think that promoting it as an event is good. I think that showing images around it might be good. It's a little more risky, but it still might be good. But yeah, that's probably a sensitive thing to be really careful about.
And then
Thank
the other factor is that if they decide you're committing animal cruelty, they can also involve your local law enforcement and animal welfare officers who are required to investigate every claim, regardless of how irrelevant or trivial it is. And once they're there, they're required to pick apart every part of your welfare and care, which means a lot of unwanted attention. And I know there are farm blogs I follow who have quit posting anything animal related because they got called so much. And they would post like, this is the reality of animal care. My dog got mauled, or my sheep got mauled by a dog. And then they would get flooded with animal welfare calls and be stuck in the bureaucracy after that. And I have followed farm bloggers who quit posting anything at all about animal content because they became targets of so much harassment.
Yep.
Including like big name published authors, you know, who are well known. So it's something to be very, very aware of.
I think it's a perfect place to be very, very aware of, and walk gently, but carry a big stick too, because we're dealing with the truth. And I understand being bogged down, I understand being attacked, but the truth is something that we are kind of required to exhibit if we're trying to make a difference. Because like you said, people don't, I understand completely why. But then again, we're not here really to make money, so to speak. We're here to make a difference, and we will be funded in that difference making by somebody. Somebody will fund this.
Well, that's true. I mean, you know, it's going to make a difference to the impact of the number of people you're going to be able to reach with making that difference, even just within the KC metro area. You know, I mean, people are on Reddit, and people are on Facebook, and people are on Twitter, and people are on TikTok, and we want to get them into their yards and into the farms, right? But if you can't reach them there, then it's going to be a lot harder to reach them no matter what funding you have.
So really, it's do it, but do it smart.
Yeah.
Do it in a way that emphasizes the humaneness and the quality and the ethics, and that de-emphasizes the gore and the death part, because people absolutely will react to that. I mean, I've had, like, on my personal Facebook, which is locked to anybody but friends, I've posted slaughter pics and gotten some real negative pushback from people who I know eat meat at McDonald's.
Mhm,
You know?
yeah.
So I think it's completely worthwhile doing. It's one of the most important things that we can teach and promote, but it has to be done in a way that doesn't make you notorious.
I want to be notorious.
I hear you.
Be notorious for a different reason. Be notorious for a reason that doesn't sabotage the mission, you know.
I hear you. And the conversation is incredible, and I so respect what you all are saying as well. That's why I will carry forward with y'all as consultants in this, okay? I really think it's a privilege to hear y'all's input on this. There's Kathy Adams. Yay, Kathy!
Okay, so sorry, that was technology. Any marketing and events.
Here.
I'm by the fire. It's cold over there.
She's standing over by the wood stove, but it ain't cold anymore.
Well, I'm keeping my butt warm. So, yeah.
Where's your Afghan?
Oh, here. Let's see it.
Yep, that's all it up.
Oh God, hang on. It's gotten bigger. All right.
Guys, you can't get it on the screen anymore.
I know, and you can't even get the light on it, really. Here. It's bigger than I am at this point.
It's 7 feet, 7 feet square.
Almost as beautiful.
Wow.
Aw, thank you, Lizzie. Oh,
Very,
we're-
very nice.
thank you. Thank you. We're probably gonna start Mark and I are on day 28 of yoga, of our 30-day yoga journey we were doing. And yeah, I mean, he had his lowest blood pressure ever this morning after yoga.
Ah, hallelujah. That's awesome.
111 over 83, I think it was.
74. It was below 80.
74, yeah. Like that's the lowest ever.
Wow.
So, you know, that's a measurement, a scientific measurement that means something to you, that means whatever it means to you.
And I take my blood pressure like 3 or 4 times a day now. So, and I've been doing it over the whole course of this yoga journey. And I see results just in I know what my daily averages are now. They raise a little bit. I can tell when I'm a little excited about something. I can tell when I ate something that I shouldn't have ate. I can tell all that stuff now just by getting it, well, a bunch of times during the day. And this morning with yoga and the mental clarity and the ability to balance and not fall down. I mean, I'm 61 and walking around sometimes I was feeling like I was getting old because I was feeling like I was going to fall down, but really it was just my feet were not connecting to the ground. I wasn't developing any of my stabilizer muscles or all that stuff. So I don't even feel old anymore. When I was starting to feel a little bit old, now I know better. I just needed more yoga.
So how that ties to events is we want to start like another like maybe 30-day or yoga challenge or something that involves more of the group, right? More of us, and like however we create that. And I've invited my mom and she's interested, and that would be incredibly wonderful. So that I'm looking at having start probably well, I kind of wanted it to start on February 14th on Valentine's Day as like, love yourself, right? Let's go ahead and start a 30-day yoga journey on Valentine's Day into self-love.
Well, I'm in.
So I don't know exactly what it will look like because mom's got, a couple of replaced body parts that are now titanium. So there's certain things she literally cannot do. She literally cannot do certain things. So
Only a couple.
She'll I don't know I just don't know exactly how it's gonna look, but we're gonna do something. It's looking like probably 9 a.m. on most weekdays, and it'll just be like the Discord voice chat channel, just chat, whoever's available to hops in at 9 a.m. and we do whatever kind of yoga we do, and that's the day. And then maybe we have a chat channel where we kind of just self-report or share what we're getting out of the journey or whatever, just as a community. So,
and then maybe have a potluck dinner like every 2 weeks or something at the greenhouse and just have a massive yoga on the greenhouse property with anybody that wants to come. And we can schedule you in, Jess, for sure. When we know Jess is coming to town, we're gonna have a massive yoga.
possibly tomorrow.
I have never done yoga in my life.
Oh, wow. You would love it.
And I don't know if I can fit one more hobby in my life right now, but when I'm through with school, I'll have a lot more freedom to do stuff.
Perfect.
And I'm always down for potlucks, any excuse for food.
Yay, I love
Any
potlucks.
excuse for food. Yeah. Good. Yeah, it's a
Yoga is a necessity, not a hobby.
yeah. So that's an upcoming event I wanted to share with y'all. When it comes to the planning of our introduction, our CSA conversation, when we're going to invite more members, I think we still need to have a few things we need to work out. I've been putting my thoughts together on what sort of like roles in the creation of this CSA that we're creating here could be that would really support the whole effort based on what we learned from last year. You know, last year we had agreements in place, which is wonderful, and they weren't very specific at all. So everybody was kind of operating in somewhat in the dark and operating in other people's expectations. And of course, you can never meet somebody's expectations because you don't know what they are, like that. So I've been just outlining roles and responsibilities so that as we go into the conversations to create agreements for this year, and whatever that looks like, whether it's really up to you if you want to take on one of these accountabilities, and if there's an opportunity to do the bar, you know, the 1099 system, kind of like what Bill was sharing with us in a lot of these agreements, then we can do something like that, right? But I've been posting all that out all in the Discord server. Basically, there are accountabilities that would support a whole network of farms, and there are accountabilities that are specific to each farm. So like bookkeeping is an accountability, and that would be something that would support multiple farms or could support multiple farms. One person could do that, right? Tech support is something that could be done for multiple farms, but just one person or two people or whatever. However, every farm needs a grower, needs one person 100% responsible for what goes on in the gardens there. So that's also a separate accountability. And all those farms, we want to have them have at least, you know, 7 to 14 students or pupils, or I'm calling the accountability garden gnomes. I kind of like it. But they're accountable for being there 2 hours every week. Right. So I've just been really breaking down the accountabilities as I see them. And they're all open right now for people to want them or not, or want to take on that accountability or not. And then there's an opportunity to have a conversation. For the spring plant sale season this year, there's going to be an accountability called stewards, and then the accountability called gnomes, right? So we're wanting with the stewards are like the marks, right? The people who are behind the scene, well, not really behind the scenes a little more, but we don't want the marks doing the grunt work, right? We want, you know, somebody else to be deadheading. We want somebody else to be watering the plants. We want Mark to be interacting with the customers and, you know, like that, right? Because people need to learn the things that he knows so he can be freed up to go be the visionary and the face person that he is for his farm, right? That's the role he needs to be in. And so that's the steward role at his farm. And then there would be like I'm going to put together a real legit job description, because like Mark was sharing earlier, we're approaching the Full Employment Council and the Synergy to create opportunities for them to have, because with the Full Employment Council, how that works, or how that has worked in the past, is that they have actually paid someone to come work on our farm. And all we had to do was train them and tell them what to do. So we're looking in something like that for this spring. So we're laying the groundwork for that. But I wanted to put that out there because all that information's out there on Discord right now underneath the CSA conversation. Okay. Please go take a look, because we need to start getting some of these pieces in place. We also need social media mavens or communication, whatever we want to call them. I think I call them communication czars. Somebody who loves to communicate things, likes to be on the social media platforms, will actually, you know, go out and make the posts or the emails or whatever that is. But it's really that key piece of somebody who really is one, like, I don't know, social butterfly or something. I can't handle keeping all those conversations going, but it's all spelled out there on the Discord server. So go take a look. And that didn't have anything to do with marketing or events.
Well, I want to ask a question.
What do you got?
What Maggie said, does everyone know how to go on Discord and do it? Because she's showed me 4 or 5 times, and it's taken me 4 or 5 times, plus some more probably, before I understand what she's talking about.
Okay. So I know, Kathy, do you access it on your phone? Or actually first, raise the hands, just the physical hands. If you want have a few questions about Discord, or it's unclear or like that. Okay. I know Abby's been on it. I know Jess is proficient at it. Lizzie's very proficient at it. James is proficient at it. Carl's unfamiliar with it. Dan's on it and proficient.
First I've
And
heard
believe-
about it.
Okay, good. And Mac is not on screen. And Kathy, I see, yeah. And so you and Mark both use the phone version of Discord, and it looks a little different. And so I'll start at the beginning. Carl, do you know what a
Yes,
Discord server? Have you heard of Discord before?
Not until tonight.
Okay, so it is an app.
Okay.
It's somewhat like in my opinion, it's somewhat like Facebook, only much more private. And it's a great way to organize communities and the conversations that all happen in a community all at once. And so nobody gets overwhelmed like they would get in a group chat or a group text or something like that. So it's more of a text-based way to connect communities. You can access it on your computer or on your phone. There's an app for both. You just create a free user account. The caveat with the free user account comes with that anything you post out there is able to be taken and used by the Discord company and modified in whatever way they wish. And you've given away the right for them to do that. So whatever you post, that's just the same thing like with Facebook or whatever. It's not really any different than any other free app. But I just want to put that out there so that you're smart about what you post out there. You can say a whole lot, but just know that whatever you say could be taken. And
Okay.
you've given away that right willingly.
So
So
can
I
I get this off of the App Store, from the
Yep.
Apple App Store?
Yep, you
Okay.
can get it off the App Store and you just create an account. And you should be able to go to your email and see one of the last emails I sent that had a link that should be good for forever to join the Discord server. And if not, just get communication to me somehow that you don't. But we only have like 19 more minutes left on the call. We're way off schedule, but I do think I want to give a quick a quick show of what Discord is real quick. Kathy, are you able to watch on your phone? If I go through this and show you some stuff, because I mean, I have Mark right here with the phone that I can show him.
I guess I better unmute before I can answer. Yes.
Okay, good. So instead of sharing my screen or anything, I'm just going to walk you through it. I'm going to walk you through it, Kathy, by doing the same things that I'm doing on Mark's phones, because you both use this phone. So go ahead and go off video and open your Discord app. And I'm sorry, anybody else, if you want to go ahead and drop off, I don't think we're going to get to the book reading tonight. It's already too late. I understand. Thank you. I love you. And this needs to get handled so we can have community so we can really get everybody looped into the conversation. Okay. So love you. Love you, love you. Drop off if you wish. And I'm going to keep on going with the Discord lesson real quick. Or does anyone want to say anything? If you want to say anything, say something. If you want to just wave and poof, that's fine too.
There's a wave and a poofer.
A wave and a poof.
There's a wave and a poofer. Any questions? Or waves and poofs?
Waves and poof.
Actually, you gonna stay on, James?
Maybe.
Yeah, just in case I need to clarify or anything.
Yay. Okay. So, and Paula, if you're there too, I see you're still connected and I'm pretty sure you're using it on your phone too. So you can follow along, but, So on your phone, you've got Discord installed. And Kathy and Paula, I know I've seen you both out there. So it's at least, I know you're connected at least that far. So when you open up the app on your phone, on the toolbar on the left-hand side, you should see maybe 4 icons. So you should see from the bottom up, there's one that looks like almost like a pyramid. And then there's a little plus sign, that's the second one up. And then the third one up should be the one that's the picture of the Chinese mustard greens. It's kind of purplish pink, purplish greenish.
Sorry, Maggie, where are we starting?
I am starting, oh gosh. The left toolbar in the Discord app well, it's the same on the server or the computer version or the phone version. It's on the left side. You know what I'm talking about? Does that make sense?
Discord app installed.
Carl's getting it installed right now.
No, I'm not. I'll do it later. I'm just kind of following along and listening.
Okay,
and
good.
taking notes.
Wanted to be sure we're at the right starting point.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much for putting that in, James. I didn't even think about that. Appreciate that. Kathy, you've got the app open and installed?
Yes.
Okay, good. And Paula, I can't verify if you've got the chat open and installed, but I'm going to trust that you. I installed it on your phone, so didn't I? Pretty sure I did. Anyway. Okay, so phone version of the app. Third icon up from the bottom should be that Chinese mustard greens. The fourth icon, which could be the top icon for you, is the little like chat bubble. So if you tap on the Chinese mustard greens, it's going to open up whatever was the last text channel you were in, if you were in a particular text channel. So if you were in a particular text channel, all you're going to see on it is kind of like a timeline of posts, kind of like on Facebook. But if you tap the 3 lines in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, which is also called the hamburger, if you tap that icon in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, you'll go back out kind of a level to like the main menu. Right? And the main menu has all the different text channels in them. So these are the different topics of conversation. And this is how we can have all these conversations happening at once, but not all go into the same chat thread and get all jumbled up, right? So from here, is everybody here at a level where they see stuff like welcome and farms and revolution? Do you see that, Kathy?
No,
What do you see?
I see our growing community at the top with 3 dots,
Mm-hmm.
but I clicked on that and I didn't get that. But then but if I go back to just where how do I do this? I see a particular line that says welcome, general, introductions, revolution, and then
Yes.
it's got a bunch of posts.
Yes, that's the main menu. You could say.
So Kathy, all of
Okay,
kind of the little pound sign next to them, those are called channels. And so
okay, a bunch of them look like they're locked.
that means that you've got special access to them, but not everybody does.
Okay. I would never have even tapped on them because they had a lock sign.
Yep. No, it means that they're locked down to the general public. Anybody visiting this wouldn't be able to see them, but since you're a member, you can.
Very good, thank you.
Yes. And you'll notice, Kathy, that some of them are bolded and some of them are in just plain old gray text. And
Right,
the bolded ones means that there's been a new message posted in there since the last time you were in that text channel.
okay.
So meaning there's more stuff happening in that conversation for you to get caught up on if you wanted to.
That
When you
sounds
want.
wonderful.
Yeah.
it took me forever to figure out how to get on here tonight to the Zoom. I couldn't figure out where the post was to go to get on the Zoom conversation.
Oh, man. Okay, well, that's out here too. So if you scroll down, and it's, you can tap and drag like you're used to with Facebook or whatever. But underneath Revolution is community meetings. And if you actually tap on it's called a category. So inside each category, you can have multiple channels.
Okay.
And this is a category called Revolution, and the channels available under it are community meetings, art, buy nothing, and opportunities to participate. And we can create whatever channels we want. That's not a
Okay.
big thing. So underneath community meetings would be where you would find the information and what the goings-ons of the community meetings. That's where those posts have been being made about agendas and all sorts of stuff.
Push it.
If you just tap it, so it'll be bold, you tap it. And there was the message I posted this morning.
I never got there.
And Paula's response about greetings, beautiful sunrise.
Yay.
So every once in a while, the only thing that'll show up underneath a certain heading or underneath a certain category is one thing. But it's going to by default show you the one thing that's had an update since the last time you were there. But there could be other text channels underneath that heading, and you won't actually see that unless you tap on the channel name or the category name.
Okay.
So it kind of just, you know how when you're like in on your computer and you have a folder open and you can kind of like click the little plus sign and you go drill down into a folder and back up. Never mind.
No, Joel
Okay.
would probably know that.
Never mind. Okay. All right. So anyway, we're going to scroll on here. So underneath, after Revolution is, you're going to see farms. So each one, this is the category for farms, and each one of the farms is got their own text channel. There's one for Antioch and one for yours, Kathy, and one for Lizzie's, mine, cousin Paula's, and Jan's. Yeah, that's Jan's and Michael. Yeah. So communications specific to the various farms can go right there, since they may not all be appropriate to go out into like the general chat channel.
Who is the crow's nest?
That is Michael and Jan.
Liz's friend Michael, the young man Michael that's on all the calls, he's not on tonight.
Okay.
But he lives with his grandmother, and that's her house.
Okay.
It's got a pretty big lot, and it's just part of it now. It's one of the farms.
Okay, great.
Yep. Underneath the farms category is the creating and planning category. And that's where we've got events and workshops and the CSA conversation. And then I want to create a permaculture design course, and I've started talking about it out there. And then there's committees, marketing, events, technology, bookkeeping. And then at the very, very bottom are voice channels, which will pop into, this is when, if you pop into one of those, if you just tap on one of those, it'll actually, oh God, how to describe what a voice channel is. James?
Like an open phone line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a phone line for that channel, and it's like a big group call.
Yeah. So basically you just tap on it and it'll say join voice.
And I'm on there with myself right now, right?
Yep. And now Kathy's in there with you too. And this might get weird feedbacky. If it does, we'll mute.
Hello, hello,
Oh wait, we're muted.
hello.
Back in,
Hello?
with you, Zoom.
Hello?
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, we'll play with that a little more. Oh, good. Cousin Paul is down in yoga with Mark and Maggie.
Oh, cool.
Awesome. And that's the text channel, the voice channel we'll use to do the yoga in the mornings at 9 a.m. for everybody to drop into or whatever. So you can post pretty much anything out here, whether it be just totally just text, or you want to post a link to something, or you want to post a picture or a video, or you can do whatever out here, pretty much. So really it's hop in there and start playing with it and using it, really. What do you got, James?
Nothing, just thanks for another great meeting and appreciate everyone's work and making this community grow. So thank you, and I will see y'all later. Have a good night.
Night, James. Thank you
Poof.
so much.
Poof.
Wave and poof.
Poof.
Even poof. Sorry, magic was off. Yeah.
All right. Good night. Good night, all.
Good night, Carl. Wave and poof. Wave and
Yeah,
poof.
poof.
That's awesome. All right. Welcome back, Kathy. Are you waving and poofing? Oh, you're muted in here.
Can't hear you.
I can't hear you, Kathy. Let me send you a prompt to unmute in Zoom. There you go.
Okay, I says, is there anything important that I missed tonight?
Well, we talked with Bill, the Wonder CPA, for a good long while. I think you all of that, but I mean, basically,
He has his number on the chat. If you
Mhm.
have any questions, he said he really likes what we're up to and he would answer any questions you had. So you can get a hold of him and just say you're part of the community at Antioch.
Okay,
And he said,
now
he'll
with
answer-
is the chat in Discord?
there, I just put it in Zoom and I can share it in Discord as well. And Abby, did you want to say something about Bill?
No,
Okay, well, you came
I don't
off
think
mute.
so.
I wanted to make sure I paused to give you a chance to get some word in edgewise.
no, I was gonna talk to you about fencing though.
Okay, good. Let me
Mhm.
let me answer Kath. Let me finish up the Bill question real quick. I want to say one thing to Kathy. So Kathy, what Bill is all about is kind of the same things I'm all about, which is paying the government as little in taxes as possible and do it legally. So there was a lot of questions around all that. You know, how do we structure ourselves as individuals in order to keep doing what we're doing together and doing it in such a way that none of us has to pay a big tax burden, and we're all doing it really smartly and easily.
Okay,
So that was what the conversation was about.
did you record that by any chance?
I did. Yeah.
So where do I get that?
Well, that will, once it's I get those and then I upload them to YouTube and they get published a week later. So when those are published, I posted in the Discord chat underneath the community meetings
Okay,
channel. Okay.
okay, so I will look for that then.
Yeah. Yeah. You should see a post from me tomorrow about that it's uploaded and that episode 5 was published tonight.
Okay,
So I
And
really,
episode 5 would be last week.
yep,
Okay.
yep. I built in a week just so I could give myself buffer time in case I wanted to get fancy or had a bad week.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah,
cell
I've been
phone,
hot and heavy into bookkeeping today.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one of the things with, that I want to incorporate in this structure possibly is that there's actually an accountability for and accountabilities can be taken on a 1099 type of format, right? We just have to create the way to generate the revenue. So Abby as the bookkeeper could be a 1099 contract employee of both you and I, Antioch Urban Growers, and your farm, Kathy. And she's getting paid in such a way and organizing her finances over there that it's not jeopardizing her Social Security disability, and she's also not paying a shit ton of taxes. So we went through all that on the call tonight. So that's what's available.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear that. Thank
Yeah.
you for recording it
Yeah, you're welcome.
and getting all of it together too.
and you can also get his phone number. He did say that, he's willing to take calls from our community. He likes what we're up to. So if you don't want to wait a week and you have a specific question, since you've been working on it today and you want to ask him anything, I'm sure he'd be glad to share with you as arranged. But he's
Okay.
willing to be reached out to.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I don't know if I might be able to share the unpublished video. I'll see what I can do with that YouTube, see what fanciness I can do with the YouTube video once I get it uploaded.
Okay.
Okay,
Sounds great.
cool.
Anything else?
No, Abby had something to say.
Oh, that was basically to you. It was about the fencing. You said you guys needed fencing.
Yeah, I
for-
want to put up some fencing for the goats.
Mhm.
I want to build them a smaller yard attached to the barn right now, so that they are cut off from the whole rest of the pasture, so that the pasture has a chance to really, really grow and get really well established before they go mow it all down of all their favorite things, and then they don't have anything to eat for the rest of the year. So I have some cattle panels and whatnot. I would prefer to use cattle panels. I like the stability and the peace of mind that cattle panels offers. Bye, Kathy. Wave and poof. Poof.
I'm waving and poofing.
Love you.
Love you too.
Love you. Bye. So yeah, cattle panels is what I would love to get, but I've also like just chain link fencing. I have some damaged chain link fencing I think we could reuse, but it just bits and pieces.
See, I've got that left over from the horse fencing from my backyard and some T-bars. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, T-posts.
T-posts, yeah. I've got those. I've got the horse fencing. It's under the front porch. I've got one gate. It's an old dog kennel gate. I do have one dog kennel panel, but it's got a hole in it. I have electric fence, but it's kind of really tattered up. And I don't know where the electric part went. I've got the wire and the plastic that goes in the ground, but I don't have the box. So that doesn't help.
But the wire and the post to go on the ground, that's a big help.
Yeah, and I've got hardware.
And
I've got the ties that you put on the T-post. Yeah. The tie, and the little handle thing that we couldn't figure out how to use last time. So, yeah. Yeah, I've got all that crap down here and no way to get it up there. And yeah, so.
Well, knowing that it's there,
Mhm.
means we know that it's there and it's available, then we can like arrange something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I also have sheetrock left over from the bathroom
Mm.
remodel, so not very much, but enough to do a couple of patches if you have holes in the walls, not big ones, but almost a full, almost a full sheet of sheetrock. So,
Yeah. Thank you.
mhm. I'll take pictures of the shit, except
you.
what's under the front porch because I can't see that.
All right, good.
Cool.
And I pretty much won't get offended at any picture you send me, so it can be as gory as you want.
Well,
Well,
I can't can't take pictures under the porch because there's snow right now, but let's see what else. I got all sorts of shit down here.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody to bring it, take it away. Anyway.
Very nice.
love you.
Love you too, Maggie.